I thought you'd already.
Good.
Good.
Hey everybody, my name is Kalynn, Harlow, and first off I'd like to say thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you today. Today I'm going to tell you a little story about how a girl from Virginia went west of the Mississippi for her first time as a junior in college. For me, well, I want to tell you, one, about how I got involved with the internship, how I learned a little bit about it, and two, I want to tell you about what I did. Three, I want to tell you how it changed me as a person. For my first point, I had a friend who was a grad student here that he was originally from Iowa State University, that he came here and he was managing the swine center while I was working there. During that time period, I learned a lot about him. He acted somewhat as a mentor to me and eventually turned into somewhat of a big brother. At one point, he mentioned, "Hey, Kalynn, you should probably start looking at internships." I agree with him. I obviously agree with him because it's something that all of us can really benefit from in terms of professional development and getting to know a few things outside of the world. And he recommended applying to iSelect Farms. It was a big step for me, applying somewhere so far away from where I've been comfortable with my entire life. But I took a chance and went with it, and it turned out to be one of the best opportunities I've had so far. What I did while I was out there, I worked as a research intern, looking at PG600, which is a hormone supplement, in order to take P1 sows, parity 1 sows, sows that have only had one pregnancy up to this point, and see how to better improve their breedback and retention in the herd. So essentially how to keep them better in the herd for longer periods of time to improve the amount of money the company could make off of them. During that time, I was working with another girl to not only come up with the protocol, but I was working on 2 farms to actually run the protocol and collect the data, and I eventually had to present to the entire company at the end of my internship. As for my third point, when I mentioned that I learned so much from it, not only did I learn how to speak a little bit more and how to interact with people that I had to work with and direct people while they were helping me out with while I was collecting information, but I learned a lot about Iowa and Midwest culture. Being from Virginia my entire life, I frequently got the impression that if you were involved with agriculture, you were a hick, you were a redneck, you weren't as educated as other people. When I went to Iowa, I saw that people had much more of a respect for agriculture. So seeing people at farmers markets, there were farmers markets in every town I was in, and most of the towns had no more than 300, 500 people within them. So it was really cool seeing people just interacting together. So not only did I learn about the agricultural aspect, I learned more about what I wanted to do after my life, or after my time here at Tech ended. And at this point, I'm currently looking at grad school, not only on the East Coast, where I'm familiar with, but also in the Midwest, where pigs are more of a commodity out there, I suppose. So just to kind of wrap up, I want to say thank you again for letting everybody, or for listening to me talk about my internship, how I learned about it, what I did out there, and finally what I took away from it as a person. Thank you.
Did you ever assist with birthing and do artificial insemination?
Oh, absolutely.
I hate artificial insemination. Not artificial.
I don't like assisting with reproduction.